Hello, in this video we'll be looking at a question from the A-level paper 1, more specifically paper 1-2 from the year 2023. This is the question we'll be looking at today, and I'll be doing the solution out on the whiteboard, hopefully just like your teacher would if you were in school. If you were looking for another question from this paper, you should be able to find that in a playlist below the video. Okay, let's get to this question. In question 10, we'll be using coordinate geometry of a circle and a line, specifically this circle here and this line. And we'll be answering questions about these. The only thing that's missing is this A, and that's part A actually asks us about that. Asks us to find, it tells us A is 4, find the other possible value. And basically you can think of that as they're asking us to find A. They also tell us that this line and this circle is a tangent to each other. So how do we go about solving this? I'm going to do something extra here, but first I tell you what I would advise you to do. I'd advise you to just put these together. Try and equate them together because you know it's a tangent. You know they touch each other. So find out that point of intersection. Now, we can't really do that because there's 3 things we don't know, x, y and a, and there's only 2 equations. So we do need one more trick. The trick we're going to do is when we're solving this, we'll find 2 points of intersection. Except they tell us it's a tangent, so there's only 1 point of intersection. So while we're solving this, that piece of information will help. So I'll do that in a couple of moments. The first thing I like to do, and you don't have to do this, some students find it a bit intimidating, but what I like to do is I like to draw a picture. And there's enough information here to actually draw a really good picture. So let me try and do that here. This equation of a circle, there's a lot of information here. We know the center of the circle is given by this A and 3. So we know 3 is y equals 3. The center of the circle is somewhere on this line. This is 3. We just don't know what A is. We also can draw this line. The y-intercept would be 6 up here. And the slope is a half, so it'd be fairly narrow slope like this. I might rub out this to give myself more room later. The circle, the radius of the circle is the square root of 20. Which I guess is about 4 point something. Let's just say 4.5. So we have a circle that's 4.5 wide, which is I guess about this height here, and it goes around the center. So obviously it must fit somewhere here. Sorry, we know that it fits here because they tell us A is 4. So we know a center is here at 4. So that's a rough drawing. But there's also another answer. It must be somewhere over here because it has to be on the center here and it has to be this big. Like these circles are meant to be the same size. There are 2 answers to this question. Alright, they already gave us 4 and the other answer is going to be somewhere down here. Minus, actually I know the answer so I won't say it, but I'd a guess like minus 20. Something down there would be the other answer. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just, I like to do at the start of questions. If I can draw something, I do draw something. Okay, let's get into answering the question how you should. So I would equate these 2 together. So just they'll regularly give you a circle and a line. You got to put them together. I usually just write the circle again. And then put the line in. So y equals, instead of y, put this in. So plus a half x 6 minus 3. All that squared equals 20. Let's multiply this out. We get x squared minus 2ax plus a squared. This will be 3. So we get half squared is a quarter. X squared. So 3 times a half, 3 over 2 times 2, 6 over 2, which is just 3. 3x and then 3 squared is 9, let's say minus 20 equals 0. Let's clean all this up, all the x squares together. That would be 5 over 4 x squares. All the x's, just these two here, that's 3 minus 2a x. And then everything else, let's see, we have a squared and minus 11 equals 0. Let me just check that's what I got previously. Yeah, it looks the same. Okay, you put this together and usually you solve for x. There's a quadratic here, you solve for x. We can't. There's an a inside there. We don't know what a is. So how do we do this question? We use the fact that it's a tangent. There's not two answers to this quadratic. There's usually two answers to a circle and a line. If we get a quadratic like this case there's only one answer. That tells us something. Sometimes as well there's no answers. That tells us something. Like when does a quadratic have two answers, no answers, or one answer? That's when we use the minus b formula. So you know, like b squared minus 4ac. That formula. It's what's it, plus or minus the square root of this. This gives us two answers. When this number is bigger than 0, we get two answers, the plus answer and the minus answer. When it's equal to 0, which is what we want this time, there's no answers. Sorry, there's only one answer. Like there's 0, plus 0 and minus 0, same thing. And this case here would be no answers. Minus if what was inside here was a minus. Anyway, what we want right now is just this equals 0. And we have a is here, b is here, and c is here. So we can go ahead and do that. B squared is 3 minus 2a squared minus 4 times a. This is 5 over 4 times c, which is a squared minus 11. All that equals 0. I'm not going from here to here. I'm using the knowledge that this has to be 0 to make a whole new quadratic equation. Okay, and look, there's only one thing we don't know. We can solve this. So I didn't go from here to here. I used this knowledge to go from here to here. Oh, I hope that's clear. Let's clean all this up. Multiply this guy out. We get 4a squared minus 12. Minus 12a plus 9. 4's cancel here. We get minus 5a squared and plus 55 equals 0. Clean all this up, we get minus a squared. How many a's? Minus 12a and plus 64 equals 0. You can solve it from here, but I like to have a positive out front, so I'll multiply everybody by minus 1. Get a squared plus 12a minus 64 equals 0. Let's solve that. We should be able to factorize it. Factorize this, a and a. Okay, two factors of 64. That will add or take away to get 12. I think it's 4 and how many times 4 go in? 16. Yeah, 4 and 16 should work. 4 and 16. Oh, we knew it was 4, didn't we? Remember, we knew a. But still, let's assume we don't. 4 and 16 works. Let's see, we want plus 12. So we better have plus 16 and a minus 4. All this equals 0. That means a equals 4, which we knew. And a equals minus 16, which remember, we could guess. That looks roughly right. Plus 4 and minus 16. Remember our drawing here? If we had got plus 20, it wouldn't have made sense. If we knew it had to be a minus. I guess the rough drawing didn't tell us what number. Okay, I hope that helped answer part A. I will clean this off. It's still the same question for B and C. So I'm going to save this drawing. In B and C, they don't care about this guy. So I'll rub out some of this, I'll clear off this, and we'll go on to part B. Something I should have said in part A is, in coordinate geometry especially, there's usually more than one way to answer the question. So I'm positive there was more than one way to do the first one. But that was probably the most common. In part B and C, I'll start to show you a few of the different ways to do it. Okay, in part B, they tell us that A is equal to 4. So A is equal to 4. Let me change this A up here. So that's what we're going to use 4 for now. Forget what we did in part 1, the minus 16. This picture is what applies from now on. Now, you won't have had this picture from part A probably. Now is the time you should be starting to draw a rough picture. So in part B, it asks you to find the equation of the normal to the circle at P. So we found P here. Sorry, we didn't necessarily find it. Here's the center. This line here is the normal. Okay, that's what they want us to find. So the drawing's useful just to know what we want to do. Okay, so to find the equation of a line, we need to find a point on that line and the slope of that line. To find the slope then we need a way to find the slope, which we have in this question, or we need 2 points. So that's where you get a couple of ways to do this. So the slope, first of all, the slope of this line is m is equal to half. So the trick here is a normal is perpendicular. So the slope of this guy is perpendicular to a half. Turn it upside down, change the sign, so it's minus 2. So we have the slope. Now all we need to do is find a point. There is a really easy point to find and a hard point. This one's easy, this one's hard. But lots of students might have not done this. They may have just missed where to get the slope. So lots of students will have looked for both points. So I'm going to show you how to get both points here. Let's go with the easy one first, which would have made this question quite easy. The center. The center of the circle is right here. It's 4, 3. Let me put it in up here. 4, 3. Straight away we're done. We have a point, we have a slope. Part B is a really short question that you get 4 marks for. So if you knew what to find. Now a lot of students didn't, so a lot of students would have wanted to find this point up here. So how do you find that? Basically we just do what we did in part A. We fill these two together. This time we don't have something missing here. We do know this number. So we fill these together. I won't go through it because it's a bit long and we already have the answer. So I'll just tell you the answer. But yeah, just like in part A, we write x minus 4 squared plus, we put this in here. We multiply it all out, we will get a quadratic. Do I have the quadratic written down? No, I don't have the quadratic, but we'll get some sort of x squared, x number, quadratic, and it will give us this point up here. We'll only get one answer out. Oh, I did do that because I got it squared out somewhere. Yeah, we'll get some quadratic that looks like this. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. And there's only one answer to that. X minus 2. So, or x minus 2 squared equals 0. So the answer is x equals 2. This point up here is a 2. Then find the y, we just put it back in. 2, half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 6 is 7. 2, 7. So it wasn't that hard to find, but it was just a little longer. I skipped a couple of steps there. Okay, so once you have 2 points, you should be able to find the slope. Use the slope formula. Or, if you found the slope already, we're going to go ahead and use this. Sorry, one other thing we could have done is, I guess, just use the 2 points and solve y is equal to mx plus c. Put 2 points in and solve for m and c. Could have done that as well. But anyway, we're not going to need all that because we know what m is. We know it's a 2. We're just going to use either point you want. I'll go ahead and use the center. And I'm just going to solve for c. The center is y is 3. X is a 4. What's c? 3 minus 8 Yeah, 3 minus, is that right? Oh, I'm missing a minus, I'm sorry. I'm missing a minus there. So we have 3 plus 8 is 11. So 11 equals C. Oh, and that's the answer. I'll write this one again. Y is equal minus 2x plus 11. Okay, I hope that was clear, the different ways you could have done that, because I did skip around a bit. So let me just recap. You could have found the slope just by inverting this. You could have found the center just by reading it off there and then simply solve like this. Or you could have found this other point by solving these two equations. Okay, let me clean this off and we'll do part C. I'll clean all this off because I think I want to draw the picture again a little bigger. Okay, in part C, again they tell us A is 4, so we'll leave the 4 in there. And they want us to find the equation of two tangents to the circle that's parallel to the normal. So let me draw what I had up here. I'll just go a little bigger this time. And we had a circle, probably something like this. And we had a tangent to it, something like this. And we have, what do we have? 2, 7. And we have, 4, 3. Okay, so, and we found the equation of the normal here. What they want is the equation of two tangents to the circle that's parallel to this normal. So the first thing that the exam would give you marks for is drawing what I'm going to draw. Just a picture like this, tangent, something like, something like that. The examiner really will give you a mark for that. They'll think, okay, you know what they're asking, you figured something out. So how do you solve this? Now I've worked on this for a few minutes because I found, I think, 4 ways to answer this so far. I will show you the main way I think most students will try it. Then I will sketch out at least 2 other ways, or maybe 3 other ways, I can't remember. I'll have to check my notes, how to find these equations. Okay, the main first way I would find it is, I would find these 2 points. And the main way to find these 2 points is I would find the equation of this diameter here. Because remember, we know the slope m is minus 2. Sorry, m is minus 2 of this. So I know the slope of this guy. It's actually parallel to this one up here. It's m is equal to half. And I know the center point. So I could find a line. Sorry, I have a few lines here. This line is, there's one here. This line was the one we found in part B. I'm going to go ahead and find this diameter line. It's y is equal half x plus c. And we find c. We know this point is in it. So 3 is equal, half of 4 is 2 plus c. C is equal to 1. So y is equal to half x plus 1. Okay, that's the equation of this line here. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this together with the circle. I'm going to solve the circle and this, and I'm going to find these 2 points. Because once I have these 2 points, I also know the slope of this. M is equal to minus 2. M is equal to minus 2. If I find this point, I have an equation. So that's the I think the main way most students will answer this. There is actually shorter ways. So keep tuned for that. So I'm going to solve this equation with this here. Hopefully I have room. I'm going to write this circle out again. X minus 4 squared plus, I'm going to fill this in, half x. 1 minus 3 is minus 2 squared equals 20. Let's clean all this up. I'll do it a little quicker than usual because I might run out of room. If we square all this up, we get 5 over 4 x squared. All the x's we get minus 8x and minus 2x, so we get minus 10x. Then the numbers, minus 4 squared is 16, minus 2 squared is 4, that's 20. Take away 20 is nothing, so we get equals 0. So there's two answers for this. Will we do that? Well, let's multiply everything by 4 first. We'll get 5x squared minus 40x equals 0. Let's divide, equals 0. Let's divide everything by 5. We'll get x squared minus 8x equals 0. We can factorize this. X comes out of both of them. X minus 8 equals 0. So that means our answer is either x is 0 or x is 8. So remember, that's two different points. So, oh look, this should be right on the line here. So this point is 0 something. And this point here is 8 something. Need to find out what y is. We just go ahead and put it in here. Y is equal to 0 plus 6. So that's a 6. Just checking my notes here. That's not right. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong line here. I should be using this one down here. I'm sorry, 0 goes in here. It's y is equal to 0 plus 1. So that should be a 1. 8 goes in. A half of 8 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So over here is a 5. Okay, nearly finished. We just need to find this equation. We know the slope is minus 2. So the equation would be y is equal to minus 2x plus some c. Fill in these points. We get 1 is equal to minus 2 times 0. So minus 2 times 0 plus c. C is equal to 1. Y is equal to minus 2x plus 1. Sorry, and this guy over here, if you can see, that should be y is equal to minus 2x plus a c. What's c? Let's fill in the points. We get 5 is equal to minus 16 plus c. C is equal to 21. So the equation is y is equal to minus 2x plus 21. Okay, that is the full answer. I am going to rub this out and show you another couple of ways to do it as well. But let me first recap what we did there. They asked for these two lines. That's the first mark you were looking to get. Identify what they wanted, these two lines. To find those lines, we needed a slope, which we had, because we knew the slope of all, they were parallel to the normal. Then we needed a point. So I had to find this point here. That's how I solved it. There's actually other ways we won't need these points, which I'll show you in a moment. To find these points, we just put the equation of the circle and the equation of this line across the middle here. Sorry, we first found that line. Okay, I hope all that was clear. You might have to watch that a couple of times to really get it. Okay, let me clear off a lot of this. I'll even rub the picture off. I'll draw it one more time and show you a couple of ways to do this, a little shorter. I won't fully do it, but I'll give you the idea. Okay, to do part C again, remember we have, let me think what I need to draw. Yeah, I'll show you this one first. We have a circle, we have the center, 4, 3, and basically we have the slope. What we're really looking for are these 2 points. That was the hardest part of part C. We're looking for these 2 points here. There is a really nice short way to solve this. We know this point up here and we know it's a right angle. And this point, which I'm now forgetting, let me check my notes, 2, 7. 2, 7. We can use the fact that this is all very symmetrical. To go from here to there, we need to go up, let's see, we went from 3 to 7. Go up 4 and left 2. That's how we got there. This is also a right angle from over here. We should be able to do the same thing to get from the center to here. Think of it this way. Think of folding this triangle down. So if you rotate this triangle around, this side will become this line. And this 4 high will come across and be 4 across. and this will be 2 down. So, see what I'm doing there? So that means this point must be 4 to the left of this point. So we just get a 0. And this point must be 2 below this guy. So we just get a 1, which is what we found previously. Took a lot longer, but it's what we found. Again, let's rotate this around this way. This point will rotate all the way to here, and we'll be left with this being 4 to the right, 2 up. 4 to the right to 4 is an 8, 2 up is 5. Once we have these two points, we still have the slope. We can go ahead and find the equation of this line. M is equal -2. Same over here. Okay, so that was a good bit of a shorter way to do it. Another way to solve this question, I'll draw it again over here, give myself plenty of room. Circle something like this, is it? I can't remember. We have this point here. We have this line, and this line is y is equal -2x plus 11. That means we know the y-intercept. What we're really looking for is these two lines here. Sorry, it doesn't look very neat, but these are parallel to this guy. If I already know m is equal -2. All I really need is the y-intercept. So there's it's a bit tricky. It'll be hard to remember it because it was a lot of scribbling in my notes to get it. But what I really want to do is find this length here. And we know lots of things. We know the distance here is square root of 20. And we also know the angle of this line, because the slope gives us an angle. So we can go ahead and, let's see, if I put a parallel line across and down. No, that won't work, will it? Well, yeah, if I continue across here. We know that for every 1 you go right, you go down 2. Or for every 1 you go left, you go up 2. So we know, yeah, let me zoom into this little picture here. Let's see, we have the slope of this guy is 1 to 2. So let's, and then we have this being the square root of 20. This is a right angle in here. This is a right angle here. This slope, and this is a right angle here. This slope, this angle, and this angle. These are the two angles we have in this triangle. This one, so this is a little right angle triangle. We have angle 1, angle 2. This is a big right angle triangle. Still angle 1, so this must be angle 2. This is a right angle triangle. Angle 2, this must be angle 1. That means that this triangle here is also 1 across, 2 up. Just like the slope, the -2 slope. 1 across, 2 up. And what I really want is this length. Because I have 11, I want to find out how high it is. Now, I recommend try this yourself, because I'm not going to teach it too well. I'm going a little fast, I think. But basically, this triangle is square root of 20 across. Must be twice that up. That's 2 times square root of 20. Then I just use Pythagoras' theorem to find this height. It's square root of 20 squared is 20. 2 times square root of 20 squared is 4 times 20. Square root of all that, that's 20 plus 80. Square root of 100 equals 10. If that's 11, this guy up here is 21. If that's the same applies down here. If that's 11, this guy down here is 1. So the equation of this line is y is equal -2x plus 21. The equation of this line is y is equal -2x plus 1, which is the same answer we got the other ways. Okay, I hope I'm losing the light here, and I haven't explained this too well because I'm running out of time, and really I think this is best left for someone to play around with. The main thing I'd like you to take away is there's many ways to answer these questions, which makes them probably harder. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know if I've helped at all. If you have follow-on questions, which I'm sure you do, put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching and have a great day.